Welcome back to the IBSP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Mbilli or Benavidez? Look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And according to Lance Pugmire, the new WBC rankings are out today, and should David Benavidez decide after Saturday's fight to move to 175 permanently, Canelo Alvarez, new number one contender at 168 for the WBC, becomes Christian Mbilli, who's 27-0 with 23 knockouts. He's looking to fight in his massive step-up fight next against Sergey Derevyanchenko in August. So you see that Christian Mbilli is the next guy up after David Benavidez leaves the weight class officially. Now, here's the scenario that we have. David Benavidez, if he's able to beat Alexander Volstik at 175, he has the option, per the WBC, to either pick his mandatory in any weight class he wants. He can pick the mandatory at 175, or he can pick the mandatory at 168. So David Benavidez can either decide to fight the winner of Bivol Beterbiev and exercise his mandatory right, or he can exercise his mandatory right and fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. See, that's his option. If he moves to 175 permanently, then Christian Mbilli becomes the number one guy for the WBC at 168 pounds for Canelo Alvarez. Now, you see, David Benavidez obviously still wants the Canelo Alvarez fight. He stated in the past that he's only looking to go up in weight simply because Canelo Alvarez is not interested in the fight. According to David Benavidez, he wants the Canelo fight next. This is what he stated to the Arizona Republic. I've been at super middleweight for the past 10 years, my whole career, and I feel like my body's getting bigger. I'm getting older, so I'm still growing as a man. I think it's time for me to move up to 175. We're still hoping we can get the Canelo fight at 168. So if you listen to what he's saying, he's still hoping he can get that Canelo fight at 168. That would be a career-defining fight for David Benavidez, and I completely understand why he's still hoping and wanting that fight at 168. The only way that fight happens if Canelo Alvarez approves it. You have to understand, David Benavidez is not the star. He's not the face of boxing. He's not the cash cow. This decision is solely going to be on Canelo Alvarez. He also goes on to state, but I think for right now, it's best for me to go to 175 and see how it feels up there. He also went on to state that light heavyweight is definitely going to be a good home for me, but I can still make 168 pounds no problem. So there should be no excuses should a Canelo Benavidez fight happen at some point, because he's saying clearly that he can easily make 168. It's not a problem. And he's still wanting the Canelo Alvarez fight next. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if Canelo Benavidez is going to be a fight that's going to ever happen. We don't know that. We know that that's the fight that everybody's clamoring for. We know that's the fight that's better than Canelo Crawford. That's better than Canelo Skull. That's better than Canelo Berlanga. We know that David Benavidez is obviously the most entertaining fight for Canelo Alvarez right now. And the only person that has the ability to power to make that fight is Canelo Alvarez, who is the face of boxing, who is the cash cow, who is a walking Hall of Famer. It's up to Canelo.